Nissan Titan is a great everyday truck, but how is it pulling a trailer? It has a towing capacity of about 9,500 pounds, and it has a cargo capacity, I think, just shy of 1,500 pounds. We have an 8,000 pound easy lift weight distribution hitch hooked up. The camper we have is about 5,500 pounds dry, and I think maximum weight is 7,500 pounds, but we don't load it up when we pull it at all. It's completely dry, no water. We actually don't really have any cargo in there. You can see the truck has a little bit of sag. We're on sort of some uneven ground, but I think we need to explore some airbag options just to handle it. The tongue weight of the trailer is 750 pounds. So we take that in consideration when we're hauling anything really. We got about 300 pounds between my wife and I, and about 100 pounds of dogs, so we're already at about 400 pounds. We add that to the 700 pounds, 750, we'll round up to 800 pounds of tongue weight for the trailer. We're already at 1,200 pounds, so we only got about 150 pounds of cargo capacity left. The truck does have a 3-inch lift too, so depending on what shocks and suspension setup you have, the sag might be a little bit different. And obviously we've played around with the weight distribution hitch a little bit too, and that will change how the truck sits. So you just kind of have to test things out. It does have a decent reverse camera with some guiding lines, so it makes it quite easy to back up to your trailer and get it right on the money the first drive. It's a good thing, obviously, if you're by yourself or if you have a wife or significant other that really doesn't know how to guide you backwards. You may have to disable a couple things in your driver assist settings, like blind spot warning and things like that, just because you're pulling a trailer and your truck may notice something that's a little bit different. One thing that can get a little bit annoying is your parking assist here, and this is activated while you're in reverse, and it's just fine if you don't have a trailer behind you because it'll apply the brakes if you're going to back into a pole or a bush or another car or something like that. But when you're pulling a trailer, it's a little bit annoying. It's going to beep at you and give you a warning, and ultimately it's going to slam on the brakes, and that's kind of annoying. Yes, of course, you can't shut it off, and that makes things all well and good, and it's just fine when you're backing the trailer up. However, if you have to make a slight adjustment and you put the car back in drive, it's going to light this back up and activate it again. So if you make an adjustment pulling forward and then you put it in reverse again, it's going to slam on the brakes on you all over again. So you got to always push that every time. And if you're in a rush, or you're trying to do things quickly because people are waiting on you at a campsite or whatever the case might be, it's going to be jerking you around. It's obviously just a small thing and not that big of a deal, but it is just one of those things. PRO4X does have the tow package, so it has the trailer brake, and it also has the towing mode in terms of the transmission and how it drives. So in city driving, when you're doing a lot of stop and go traffic, keep it in tow mode, so it just sort of revs up a little bit higher. It keeps you in lower gear, enabling you to pull the trailer a little bit more efficiently, keeping you in the power band. But when you get on the interstate, obviously just put it in regular drive, and it cruises along at 65-70 mile an hour. We get about 11 miles per gallon with the setup. And again, that's pulling a 26 and a half foot trailer. When we have it loaded, when we're hauling it around, it's probably 6,000 pounds, 6,200 pounds, maybe even slightly less than that. But it pulls it smoothly, without issue. I really don't have any complaints. I think it's underrated at a 9,500 pound towing capacity. Like I said before, we're probably going to look into some airbags for the rear end of the truck just to give it a little bit of additional support in pulling this trailer. We don't anticipate loading it down any further, so it's probably fine. The truck has handled it just fine last camping season and to start this camping season. The truck has 85,000 miles on it at this point as well, so that's something else we take into consideration, but it would never hurt to just give it a little additional support in the rear end when we're pulling a bunch of weight. The 400 plus horsepower and the 450-ish foot-pounds of torque that the Titan makes is plenty to handle a trailer of this size. I would say if you're getting into that 30-foot trailer range, that's 8,000 plus pounds, you're starting to get to its limit. Like I said before, and I think a bunch of other people agree, that the Titan is underrated at 9,500 pounds towing capacity, but I wouldn't push it, quite honestly. You want to leave a little bit of wiggle room. That's why I'm comfortable pulling a trailer that's under 7,000 pounds loaded down. But getting beyond that, you're definitely going to want weight distribution hitch if you're at that 6,000, 7,000 pound point. If pulling a trailer of any size, I would recommend the weight distribution hitch. It just gives you a lot of safety, and also we have the sway control bar as well, which is very, very helpful, especially if you're in an area where there's high winds and things of that nature. But you know, again, getting above that 7,500, 8,000 pound range on the Titan, especially if you have a lift, you're probably going to want to look into airbags just to provide a little additional support. Really comfortable, smooth ride. Sounds good, pulls good. Can't complain about the 2021 Nissan Titan Pro4X. If you guys have any questions about the Pro4X and its towing capabilities, if I happen to miss anything, let us know in the comments below. We get to every single one of them as quickly as we possibly can. Appreciate you guys watching this one. More stuff coming for the channel, so I hope you stick around. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next one.